So, good day everyone. So, today I will discuss the concept mapping and visual study tools, how to use concept map, classroom assessment tools. So, concept mapping and visual study tools. A brief history of concept mapping. Concept mapping is a technique for visualizing the relationships among different concepts. A concept map is a diagram showing the relationships among concepts. Concepts are connected with labeled arrows. The relationship between concepts is articulated in linking phrases. For example, gives rise to, results in, is required by, or contributes to. Concept mapping has subsequently been used as a tool to increase meaningful learning in the sciences and the other subjects, as well as to represent the expert knowledge of individuals and teams in education. So what is concept mapping? Concept mapping is a technique for representing knowledge in graphs. Knowledge graphs are networks of concepts. Networks consist of nodes and links. Nodes represents concepts and links represents the relationship between concepts. So forms of concept maps. The forms of concept map has four different forms. The first one is spider. Spider is organized by placing the central theme of unifying factor in the center of the map, outwardly radiating the sub-themes around the center of the map. So as you can see in the picture, this is the example of spider. So the second one is hierarchical. Hierarchical presents information in descending order of importance. The most important information is placed on the top. Distinguishing factors determine the placement of the information. So as you can see in the picture, this is the example of hierarchical. So the third one is flowchart. Flowchart organizes information in a linear format. The last one is the systems. Systems organizes information in a format which is similar to a flowchart with addition of inputs and outputs. Concept maps can be used to display a concept's components using boxes or circles and visualize the relationships among a set connected concepts and ideas. How to use a concept map? So concept mapping is a process of creating visual presentation of your knowledge. This type of system predates the development of alphabets and the written word and is deeply embedded way that humans organize and communicate information. It is graphic organizer that not only gives a visual presentation of concepts and the relationships between among them and identifies how they relate to each other. So to create a concept map, here are the three steps you need to do. The first one is construct a focus question. Second one is identify the key concept. The key concepts. Some people rank concepts by importance and it may help with the construction of the map. This also helps the map makers sort the ideas, and if they see no relevant connection, they do not have to include the concept. And the last one is construct a map. If this is the first time you are doing one, do it as a group. You start with concepts or ideas that are placed in circles or boxes or clouds and then connected with lines and arrows. Along these lines, you will write phrases such as give rise to, results in, is required by, or contributes to by Novak and Canas, 2006. That indicate that indicate relationships and movements. This technique for visualizing relationships among different ideas is called concept mapping. Mind mapping is similar but only defines connections and not relationships. Classroom assessment tools or CATs. What is classroom assessment? Classroom assessment is both a teaching approach and a set of techniques. The approach is that the more you know about what and how students are learning, the better you can plan learning activities to structure your teaching. The techniques are mostly simple, non-graded, anonymous, in-class activities that give both you and your students useful feedback on the teaching learning process. Why should I use CATs? For faculty, more frequent use of CATs can be the following. It provides short-term feedback about the day-to-day learning and teaching process at a time when it's still possible to make mid-course correction. Second one, provide useful information about student learning with a much lower investment of time compared to tests, papers, and other traditional means of learning assessment. Third one, help to foster a good rapport with students and increase the efficacy of teaching and learning. The last one, encourage the view that teaching is a formative process that evolves over time with feedback. And for students, more frequent use of CATs can be the following. Help them to become better monitors of their own learning. Help break down feelings of anonymity, especially in larger courses. Point out the need and to alter study skills. Provide concrete evidence that the instructor cares about learning. So, the best example of CATs is the 1 minute paper. So, what is 1 minute paper? 1 minute paper is a two-question asked at the end of the lesson. Possible questions are: what is the big point you learned in class today? What is the main unanswered question you leave class today? According to Crass and Angela, students spend 1 minute writing the answer. Students spend 1 minute writing the answer and then put the anonymous paper in a box as they leave the class. Before the class, lecturers use the feedback to provide ideas for revision for the next class.